Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this beautiful day? Isn't this a beautiful morning?
Very.
AC Post, how's this?
That's an awfully elegant pose, but is all that elegance necessary?
And why not? I represent Maricheks, don't I? We're not a butcher shop or a hardware store. We're a perfumery, and that means we're
stylish.
That's it.
A quiet dignity, yes.
And we get the tilt of our hats right.
That's right.
When I ride my bike, people see what Maricheks like, so I think it's very important that I look my best.
And how many people did you run over today?
Not one.
Well, it's early.
Here comes Miss Critter.
Oh?
She spent the night with Mr. Kodai.
Again?
They always kiss goodbye at the newsstand, and then she walks around the block to make us think she's been home.
Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this glorious day? Have you seen a lovelier morning?
Never.
Oh, it's too nice a day to be inside shuffling soap. I have no more energy whatsoever. Anybody mind if I take the day off? Arpad, why aren't you old enough to take me away from all this?
I'm old enough.
Then marry me, and I'll quit my job. No, I'm sure you're not quite old enough yet.
It won't be long, though. I'm catching up. You know, Miss Horvath always used to say, I'd get to be 35 before you ever did.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Kodai. Good morning. Good day. How are you this ringing day? What a rare, magnificent morning. Is it? Good morning, my dear. How are you this ravishing day? Do you know you've never looked more exquisite?
Thank you, kind sir.
What a lovely dress.
It's the same one she had on yesterday, Mr. Kodai.
Mr. Novak. Good morning. Good day. Isn't that a beautiful sky? What a perfect sample of summer weather. It's too nice a day to be indoors having no change. What a waste of holiday weather. All together, let's all run away.
Wouldn't it be something if we all took off from work?
Leaving Mr. Marichek without a single clerk.
Why not have a picnic?
I can bring my wife's preserves. Champagne might be nice with hot hors d'oeuvres. It's too nice a day to be stuck inside the store. You'll all be getting my wasted sunset. It's so nice to stay. We don't need under a tree. And we'll all be out of a job.
If it costs that much to get suntanned.
I'll stay untailed, pale but solvent.
A picnic?
A picnic.
Well,
Well, Mr. Novak, was the chicken the usual success?
What?
Last night, your weekly dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Marichek.
Yes, quite.
And did you speak to Mr. Marichek about replacing Miss Horvath?
I mentioned it, but absolutely not. I mean, business the way it's been.
It is bound to pick up, especially now that Hammersmith's is closed.
oh, have you tried their hand cream? Is it any good?
Any good? My dear lady, my wife's been using their products for years. And I've always wondered why their products are so much better than anyone else's.
Oh, well, you would know, Mr. Marichek.
Good morning, Mrs. Marichek.
Good morning.
Good day. May I help you?
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Good day, madam. May I help you?
I would like like to see a
face like yours,
cracked.
but we carry.
Do you want the cream or cherry raisin?
Oh, I see what you mean. You will look enchanting.
Dry lips.
Lazarus' garble, big mouth. I would recommend a bath today.
On sale, did you say?
Put a little lipstick on your nose. Nice.
Morning and evening. And a little brush for combing my
Teeth, absolutely.
a bit of incentive. Thank you so much.
Is there something else before you go?
What have I forgotten? I know you're exciting. I saw something so important. Something was exciting. Something I must just get back to me. I can also use a bottle of hair.
We have a splendid, here's an inexpensive perfume called Rat.
I've never used one.
If you want to clip your earlobes,
They want to dye your
hangnails, tap a little on your husband's face.
Won't you be surprised? I want an eyebrow under my chin. There's my cheek.
That I'm filled with very soft soap.
That should do it. Wrap it up the charges. Thank you so much.
Always such a pleasure seeing you. Thank you, madam. Please call again to call again, madam.
See that, George? I'm telling you, business is picking up.
Oh, Ladislav, I got another letter today.
Oh, from her?
Oh, it's so beautiful, I have to read it to you.
Does she enclose a snapshot this time? Does she mention anything about meeting up face to face?
We will soon. Just listen to this. Dear friend. Yesterday morning, I ran through the rain to the post office. I had the key in my hand, the key to box 1433. Trembling, I opened the door and reached inside. Oh, my dear friend, there you were. I took you out, held you in my hand, and looked at you for a moment. Then I sat down, gently opened you, and read you.
Mr. Seabos,
Oh, yes, sir.
could you spare me one of your stomach pills?
Oh, of course, sir.
Oh. Thank you. Ooh. You know whose fault this is?
No, sir.
Yours.
Mine?
Yes, every time you come to dinner, Mrs. Marichek tries to fatten you up. She has the cook make dumplings and cream gravy, and what happens? You stay slim, and I get heartburn.
I'm very sorry, sir.
It's all right. But George, it's time you were married. Haven't you had enough of living in furnished rooms and chasing around to cabarets and dance halls?
Mr. Marichek, I haven't been to a dance hall in years.
Oh, I know how you bachelors are. Remember, I was once one myself. And oh, what a bachelor. Young, strong. Oh, I know something in days gone by. Some girl who just happened to catch my eye. Slim, straight, light on my feet. Shoes just skimming the ground. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, follow the beat. Around, around, around. All night, dancing till dawn, lit up the sky. No one younger than I, days gone by. Then I met Mrs. Marichek, and ever since then I've danced only with her. I bet you think that's incredible.
No, Mrs. Marichek's a beautiful woman.
Young, strong, oh, I was something. Days gone by.
And It's just that I'm a terrible dancer.
With some girl who just happened to catch my eye.
Oh, I'm good. My hands are smeared. Just my
Light on my feet. Shoes just skimming around. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Follow the beat. Around, around, around this river. Bring it, George.
Relax. Go back to the taxi. Smile. Spin me around and go back to.
All night circling the floor till dawn lit up the sky. No one younger than I in days gone by. Take my advice, George. Find yourself just one person to dance with. You don't need a different partner every night.
Mr.
Or
Max.
even every other night. You just think you do. Oh, look, they're here.
Oh, what?
A little surprise for you.
Oh, what is it?
It's a genuine leather box, but just listen. Isn't that lovely? Here, you try it. You try it.
Well, what else does it do?
What do you mean, what else does it do? It's a genuine leather musical cigarette box. At just 10 and 6. How's that for a bargain?
Oh, but who will buy it?
I can see you're in a difficult mood today. Let's ask some of the other people around here, get their honest opinions. Mr. Seapost.
Well.
Mr. Kadai.
Yes, sir.
Will it sell?
I don't see why not, sir. In fact, I would go one step further. I would say this will make music lovers out of cigarette smokers, and cigarette smokers out of music lovers.
Thank you, Mr. Kadai.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, George, I'll make you a bet. I will bet you 10 and 6 that we will sell the first of these boxes within 1 hour.
I don't want to take your
10
money.
and 6, 1 hour, no more, no less. What do you say?
Well,
He's not so confident now.
oh, it's a bet.
You will pay through the nose, you will pay through the nose. Good day, madam. How can we help you?
I'd like a large tube of Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa cold cream, certainly, madam. Isn't that a lovely melody?
Is 74 the largest size, or is there a larger?
No, we also carry the 9 and 6.
I'd like to see it.
It's a musical cigarette box.
Do you carry flowers of spring in the 1-ounce bottle?
Flowers of spring, yes, in the 1 ounce bottle, yes, we do. Mr. Seapost, your customer.
Oh, yes, sir. Over here, madam.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Who do I see about returning a jar of sour face cream?
Mr. Kadai, your customer.
Right this way, madam.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Oh, no. Oh, well, yes.
Oh, well, we have a fine selection of soap, shampoos, perfumes.
Oh, no.
Oh, bath oils, bath salts.
No,
cold creams, face creams, nail polishes.
No.
Ah, brushes. Hard, soft, and medium.
No.
Ah, toilet water. We have a special this week only on roses of Italy. I'll show it to you.
Thursday? Good. I'll stop by then.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, madam. Please call again to call again, madam. Let me just spray it on your hand.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, actually, I'm not going to buy any. Well, not today. I'm not going to buy anything. Is Mr. Marichek here?
Oh, well, he's in the back room.
Oh, may I speak to him, please?
Well, perhaps I can assist you.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, he is quite busy.
Oh, well, then I'll wait. Really, I don't mind. I'll just sit somewhere quietly and wait until he's free.
May I ask the nature of your business?
I think I'd better speak to Mr. Marichek personally.
Well, if I could at least have a name.
Abolish. Amalia Bolish.
Very well, Miss Bolish. I'll tell him you're here.
Oh, just one thing. Miss Horvath, the one who used to work here, she's having a baby. She hasn't been replaced yet, has she?
Are you looking for a job?
No. Well, I guess you could call it that. Oh, I'm a very good salesgirl, really, very good. And I know the perfumery business inside and out. I worked at Hammerschmidt's 5 years. 5 years and 8 months, and they were always very satisfied with me. I have a letter from Mr. Hammerschmidt himself. Somewhere here it says, Miss Bolish is honest, dependable, dedicated. She has an abundance of these qualities which go toward making a superior salesperson. I highly recommend her. Signed, Herman Hammerschmidt. Oh, here.
I'm sure it's just as you say it is, but unfortunately we're not looking to replace Miss Horvath right now, so if you'd like to leave your name...
Bolish, Amalia Bolish.
And if anything should come up.
Well, I'd like to speak to Mr. Marichek, please.
I'm afraid it's just about a job.
Oh, please.
I'm sorry, it just can't be done.
What can't be done? At Marichek's, nothing is impossible. Perhaps I can help you, ma'am.
Well, she's looking for a job.
What?
I know this business, inside and out. I worked at Hammerschmidt's.
I'm sorry.
I have a letter from Mr. Hammerschmidt himself.
It's out of the question.
I'm honest, dependable, dedicated.
Really, George, can't you handle this sort of thing without getting me involved?
I'm a very good salesman.
Excuse me, please.
Really, I am. I'm very good. Aren't these marvelous boxes? And only 10 and 6? Can you imagine?
What's it for?
Oh, candy.
Candy?
Why, yes, madam. It's the latest thing. And just look at that workmanship.
A musical candy box.
Why, certainly, madam. It combines the 3 elements of good taste. Attractive to the eye, attractive to the ear, and functional.
How functional?
How? Well, let me tell you, this little box has been a lifesaver to many, many women who have a slight tendency to overweight. Oh, and don't we all? We sit at home reading a good book or listening to a symphony, and without even realizing it, our hand slips into the candy box. We become indiscreet, eating sweet after sweet, though we know all too well where that may lead. So this box was designed with the 2 of us in mind, as a kind of reminder we need. When you resolve it, the music plays like a disapproving nod, and it sings in your ear, no more candy, my dear. It's only a kind of noise, love goes.
I'll take it!
And 10 and 6 for the box. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
You're hired!
Bolish! Amalia Bolish!
Welcome to Marichek's, Miss Bolish. And now, Mr. Novak, if you don't mind.
14 and 4, 14 and 5, 15.
Your packages, madam.
Thank you, madam. Please call again to call again, madam.
Dear friend,
quintessence of autumn. Oh, darling, I do hope you've forgiven me for our little misunderstanding last night. I do hate it when we quarrel. Don't you, darling? Truthfully? Yes.
Go to hell.
Dear friend, with November just around the corner, I've a feeling you may also share. Do you feel an undertone of discord and a sense of tension in the air?
Mr. Novak, must this sidewalk always be covered in leaves?
No, Mr. Marichek. If it weren't for your endearing letters, I'd be flying south with all the geese. By the way, have you read War and Peace? Good morning, Miss Bolish. I see we're on time today. Congratulations.
Good morning, Mr. Novak. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I wouldn't say disappointed. Far from it. More like, surprised.
They always fight. Why is that?
Well, it's a simple chemical reaction. See, when two people like each other very much...
They like each other?
I think so.
They like each other very much. Shouldn't we tell them?
Arpad, my boy, they'd never believe us.
Look! Winter!
Dear friend, have you set your calendar for Tuesday when we bring this chapter to a close? When I meet my lady of the letters, who puts tiny faces in her rose.
In the freezing weather of December, I'll be warmly waiting for our date. Until then, count the hours. Oh, I'm late for work. Oh, I'm late! Good morning.
Good morning.
Am I very late? Did Mr. Novak say anything? Where is he?
Not in the workroom. Well, you're all new. The shoes,
The dress, the hat, from top to bottom. I'm surprised you recognize me. Do I look all right?
stunning.
Oh, gorgeous.
Well, it took me 3 hours to get dressed this morning. That's why I'm so late.
I have a feeling our little Miss Bolish must be in love. You've a rendezvous with him this evening, yes?
And how do you know?
Oh, Mr. Kodai is an expert on love, which is really quite remarkable, considering he's never been in it.
Good morning, Miss Bolish.
He didn't yell at me. What's wrong with him? He has other things on his mind. Mr. Marichek's very upset. He is again? And you know who gets the worst of it.
Mr. Novak,
Yes, sir.
you see this?
Yes?
You know what it is?
Yes, it's a tube of Mona Lisa cold cream.
Here, you try it.
Oh, that came off.
I was under the impression, Mr. Novak, that it was your responsibility to see to it that those tubes are filled correctly.
Yes.
Now, if that responsibility is too much for you,
No, it's...
or is there something wrong with the tubes? Are they defective?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? So it wouldn't be asking too much to have Mona Lisa come out the right end of the tube.
You're asking too much.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
George? Hey, George! Coat! There's still cold cream on it.
Thank you, Ladislav.
You're so nervous, I can feel you shaking.
It's a new suit. I haven't worn it to work before.
Oh, what's the occasion?
The biggest ever. I'm meeting her tonight.
Oh, your lady friend? Face to face at last?
Face to face at last.
Well, I just hope that she lives up to all your expectations.
You know what, Ladislav? I hope she doesn't. I hope she's not as as beautiful as I think she is, or as brilliant as I think she is. Because what will she think of me? Well, a very ordinary clerk in a very ordinary shop. A terrible liar.
A liar?
Those things I wrote in those letters.
You lied?
Well, definitely exaggerated a bit.
No wonder you're shaking.
I'm nervous and upset. And because this girl I've never met, I get to meet tonight at 8. I'm taking her to dinner to a charming old cafe, but who can eat tonight at 8? It's early in the morning and our date is not till 8 o'clock at night, and yet already I can see what a nightmare this whole day will be. I haven't slept a wink, I only think of our crunchy tete-a-tete tonight at 8. I feel a combination of depression and elation, the state to wait till 8. 3 more minutes, 2 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. In spite of all I've written, she may not be very smitten, and my hopes perhaps may all collapse kaput tonight at 8.
Look, don't overthink it.
I wish I knew how I'll act and what will happen when we die tonight at 8. I know I'll drop the silverware, but will I spill the water or the wine tonight at 8? Tonight I'll walk right up and sit right down next to the smartest girl in town, and then it's anybody's guess. More and more I'm breathing less and less. My imagination, I can hear a conversation taking shape tonight at 8. I'll sit there saying absolutely nothing, or I'll chatter like at 8 tonight at 8. 2 more minutes, 3 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. Although when this is done, if something's ended or begun, and if this goes all right, who knows, I might propose tonight at 8.
Change. You know, for the last month, I've done practically nothing but fill those darn tubes of Mona Lisa.
Well, what do you care? You're in love with some nice, eligible young man, and pretty soon you'll be able to kiss all this goodbye. Tell me, what's he like? I love to suffer.
Oh, well,
Is he tall?
so-so.
Oh, so 6 feet, so 5 feet.
I never measured.
Color of the hair? Color of the eyes.
Sandy hair, not really light, not really dark.
And the eyes?
Bluish, greenish.
Brownish.
A little.
Is he handsome?
Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, at times he is, and then again, at times he's not.
Well built?
Oh, average.
Would you like a piece of good advice? Don't lose him in a crowd.
I don't know why am I such an unconvincing liar. The fact is, I've never met him. Ever, really.
Never?
Well, that's why I don't know whether he's tall, wide, short, narrow, pink, or green, or even what his name is.
Oh, you mean all of this fuss was just for some blind date? God, you're more desperate than I am.
It's not a blind date. I know him.
How?
Letters. Many, many letters.
You belong to a Lonely Hearts Club?
Well, I've never done that sort of thing. I saw the advertisements in the papers.
Well, who hasn't? Young man wants young lady wants young man.
Yeah, but I never took them seriously until one day I saw his advertisement. Even then, I tried not to answer it really, but it just kept calling out to me.
He could be 75.
No! The advertisement said young man.
You haven't even asked for a photograph?
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more certain guide. I can tell exactly what he looks like inside. When I undertook this correspondence, I'd grow so fond. Little did I know our views would so correspond. He writes me what his feelings are on Shaw, Flaubert, Chopin, and more. The more I read, the more I find they're one in mind and heart. I know the kind of home we share, the books, the prints, the music there, a home, a life that's warm and full and rich in love and art. I don't need to see his handsome profile. I don't need to see his manly frame. All I need to know is in each letter, each long revealing letter. I couldn't know him better if I knew his name. Alona, I know him so well. I know that he's a very successful person and he's terribly well educated. He's gentle and kind and soft-spoken. Well, I know all this about him and so much more. I've just never met him. That's all. He writes his handsome, true, it doesn't much matter. Besides, his personal habits are more important than his looks. Supposing he snores like a locomotive, supposing he grinds his teeth, supposing he's a knuckle-cracker, a well out with your books. Every small detail that you haven't much mentioned. I feel sexier with you and he are all alone. Maybe you're right, maybe it doesn't matter. So maybe I'll do much better myself when my mind really hard and round. I don't need to see his handsome profile. I've seen it in by someone's profile. Manly friend. I've seen it in by someone's friend. In each letter, used one long revealing letter. I hope you feel much better if I knew his name. I knew his name. What's in a
Mr. Novak,
Yes, sir.
I wonder if you can help me. I've been looking for the Christmas decorations and I don't see them anywhere.
Oh, well, we haven't put them up yet. I was going to tell you in a day or two.
I am sick and tired of you running to me like a baby over every little matter that comes up.
Mr. Marichek, that's not fair.
Kindly inform all of the staff members that they're going to have to stay late tonight. Now, is that clear even to you?
Yes, it's perfectly clear, sir. It's just that I can't make it. I have an appointment. Excuse me. I can come tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday.
That won't be necessary. I assure you we'll get along splendidly without you. That's all, thank you.
No, that is not all, Mr. Marichek. George, for the past month, I can't seem to do anything right. Everything's changed. Is it you? Is it me? If my work is bad now, it's been bad for the last 15 years. Why the hell did you wait till now to start telling me?
How dare you raise your voice to me in my shop? Clumsy idiot.
Well,
Thank you, madam. Please call again to call again, madam.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Well, I had to do something to stop that argument before you went and did something foolish, like resign.
You know what, Ladislav? I'm not sure I appreciate that.
Oh, I didn't do it for you, George. No, I did it for me. You see, let's say that your successor comes in and takes one look at me and thinks, what's this oaf doing in a fancy perfumery like this? Oh, no.
You're a very good clerk, Vladislav.
Oh, no. I'm an idiot. But at least I'm an idiot with a job. Call me fool, that's all right with me. Here's my rule, never disagree. Where's my pride, swallowed long ago, deep inside, where it doesn't show. Bowing, scraping, nodding, beaming, always humble, not an ounce of self-respect. Yes, sir, you're so right, sir. Black is white, sir. Excuse me while I genuflect. How do I remain so calm and cheerful? How do I retain my peace of mind? Let me just explain my rationale. It's all in your perspective. Listen, listen. To an old Hungarian's philosophy. I am only one of several in a rather small perfumery, which is only one of several in this city. It's one of many cities in this country which is only one of many countries which are on this continent, which is one of 7 on this not-so-special planet, which is one of many in our solar system, which is one of many solar systems in the vast and inconceivable affair that is the universe. That's all right with me. Here's my rule, never disagree. Where's my pride, swallowed long ago, deep inside, where it doesn't show. Bowing, scraping, just maintain a, you can fashion wills, just maintain a true perspective and be sure you're well supplied with stomach fills. Let me put it bluntly, I'm a coward with a wife and children to support. Actually, my creed is short and simple. 5 essential words, George. Do not lose your job.
What?
This is going to be a charge. Here's the lady's name.
Oh, just the name. After such a long conversation. No number.
I don't need it. She's got mine.
Now that I have you all here, Miss Balish, Mr. Marichek wants us all to stay late tonight.
Why?
To finish putting up the Christmas decorations, all right?
I guess so.
Of course.
Ah, good day, madam. May I help you?
Mr. Novak. Mr. Novak, I can't stay tonight.
Why?
I've got a date. You know I've got a date.
There's no such thing.
How can you say that? Why do you think I'm wearing these new clothes? To trim a tree in?
I'm only following Mr. Marichek's instructions.
Well, I can't stay.
You know, Miss Balish, you're not being very cooperative.
Why did he have to pick this one night? Or did you pick it, Mr. Novak, just because you knew I had an appointment?
Thank you, madam. Please call again to call again, madam.
I find it quite depressing that anyone could hate me that much.
I do not hate you. But until you came here, this was a nice, happy place. Now the whole atmosphere's changed. Everyone's cranky. Marichek's on the warpath.
Well, that's not my fault.
The Mona Lisa's coming out the wrong end of the tubes.
That's not my fault. Is it?
Well, you've been filling them.
According to your instruction.
Oh. Let's not worry about that now. Can we just have a truce, please?
Any time, Mr. Novak. After all, you're the one who always starts things.
I'm the one. Oh.
You know, you've always listened to me. From the very first day I came here and I made you lose that bet to Mr. Marichek for 10 and 6, wasn't it? Do you think anyone could hate me that much for just 10 and 6?
That's ridiculous.
Or was it your male pride that was wounded because I went over your head? Men always do seem to resent things like that.
I do not resent you, Miss Polish.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, I do not resent you! But if I did, I'd have a very good reason to. Can you not deny you hadn't worked here for more than 2 weeks before you started making very public, very humiliating remarks about me?
Only because you were going around calling me Miss A. Molly Abolish. Miss A. Molly Abolish. You think I like that?
Oh, do you think I like you criticizing my socks, my tie, my fingernails?
Much better.
That has to be the most rudest, ill-conceived, worst-tempered girl in the world!
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to see Lily scented soap.
Certainly right this way.
Well, Mr. Novak, hard at work as usual, I see.
Oh, good day, ladies. May we help you?
Have you made the arrangements about tonight?
Yes, Mr. Fernay, Miss Ritter, Mr. Seacos can stay. And Arpad, of course.
What about Miss Polish?
She can't. She has an appointment.
An appointment? Well, I don't suppose you can prevail upon her to stay when you're not going to.
Any other night, Mr. Marichek.
You know, Mr. Novak, it seems that there are a great many things that interest you far more than your position here.
Mr. Marichek, I am devoted to the shop. I couldn't work harder if I owned it.
If you owned it! Let me tell you something, young man. No matter what you do, you will never get your hands on this shop. Not if I have to come down from heaven myself to stop you. Is that clear?
Yes, it's perfectly
Now,
clear.
get away from me. Just get away from me.
I will get away, and permanently.
Can I take that as your resignation, Mr. Novak?
That's exactly what it is.
Very well. I accept. Effective immediately. Miss Ritter will have your final pay.
Excuse me, is this the large size or the medium?
The large.
Well, then show me the medium, and I haven't got all day.
Yes, madam.
Cast your soul in a cup of shampoo. Is there a sail on fire of a hair red bubble back from the sheer charge your own only son? Can you recommend an unusual perfume? Something that would make
Mr. Novak, are you leaving?
Come as a surprise to you, but I just quit my job. I won't be arguing with you anymore.
Why?
To be honest, I don't think I have much choice in the matter.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, especially now that you're sorry. Let's not end our relationship on that false note. Goodbye, Miss Polish.
Mr. Novak, may the condemned woman have one last word? I never wished you any harm, ever. You've got to believe that.
I do, Miss Polish. And may I say, I hope to find some nice man and have many children someday. And for the sake of my success from this job, I hope it's soon.
Goodbye, George. Marichek's won't be the same without you.
Sorry to see you go.
If I could ever help, let me know. Goodbye, George. I wish there were time for a proper farewell. But for now, good luck and goodbye, George. So long, please keep in touch. Do keep in touch, won't you?
Will he like me when we meet? Will the shy and quiet girl he's going to see be the girl that he's imagined me enough to know that there's more to me than I may always show. Will he like me? Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? Who can say? How I wish that we could meet another day. It's absurd for me to carry on this way. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. When I am in my room alone and I write, thoughts come easily, words come fluently there. That's how it is when I'm alone. But tonight, there's no hiding behind my paper and pen. Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? How I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? I don't know. All I know is that I'm tempted not to go. It's insanity for me to worry so. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. Will he like me? Will he like me?
Ladislav, have you got another pack of icicles over there?
I don't see any icicles in here.
Could you ask Mr. Kodai if he's got them?
Miss Bitter would like to know if we've got our icicles.
Icicles? Please tell her that's all I've been getting from her for several weeks.
He says that...
I heard him. Why else would I be laughing so uncontrollably?
Ladislav, do tell me, what do you think of a woman who goes with a man, tells him she loves him, and then suddenly drops him?
Oh, well...
Before you answer that, Ladislav, what do you think of a man who breaks 3 dates with a girl in a little over a week?
A little over a week?
8 days!
I don't recall 3 dates.
You don't recall anything! You never did!
You're so wrong, Alona. I remember our evenings together. I remember them very well. Our private little booth at the Rathskeller. Oh, let's go there tonight, darling. We used to love the Rathskeller, the Chinese food, the gypsy fortune teller, the rumba bands. Come with me, Alona. I've missed you so much. How I envy you each evening when work is through, for I have only me to be with, and you have you.
so happy New Year. Come with me, sharing mistletoe. I long for someone. Please tell me who, like some divine divining rod, it points straight to you. Remember those sunny nights we knew before. If you just say the word alone, we'll know them once more.
If it were only up to me, guess who I would hang upon the Christmas tree? This is where I come in, amen. The fox and the chicken are a team again.
Generate a spark that's red. Why deny that it's there? You feel it, I know. Let's help it to
All right, we'll go to the raffle together. You'd better have lots of money because I'm starved. Or is this going to be Dutch as usual?
No, my treats.
You can all go home now. Go home.
But the work isn't done yet.
We'll just have to finish it another time.
Well, Mr. Marichek, if you don't mind me speaking for myself, I wouldn't mind sticking around a little while longer. You see, this is the only time I get away from my kids.
I want everyone out of the shop as soon as possible. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Marichek.
It's only 9:30.
9:30? Arpat, good news.
What?
You've been reprieved. Mr. Marichek says you can go.
Oh, you're all ready, but I'll just be a minute. Arpad, will you get me my things, please?
Listen, darling, I might have a bit of a difficult time explaining this, but I won't be able to take you to the Rathskeller after all this evening.
What?
Darling, you know I can't help myself. The fact of the matter is, I thought we'd be working late, so I canceled the previous appointment, but now that we're finished early, I've just got to keep it. You do understand, don't you, darling? Listen, I promise, I'll take you to the Rathskeller another night. Let's see, Monday. Does that work for you next Monday?
I resolve not to be so stupid. I resolve not to play these games. How often I've been a sitting duck for Cupid. How often I let him shoot me down in flames. I resolve not to be so trusting. It's high time that I awoke. Whatever I've got up here, it's up here rusting. My feminine intuition is a joke. I must be cousin to a cat. I always wind up with a rat. I'm through with momentary thrills. I find I can't afford the bills. I resolve, come what may, I will not be this girl one more day. I resolve not to be so brainless. I resolve not to be so dumb. My usual rush with love is far from painless. the others. Just because I'm an easy mark, I want to know why I never meet their mothers. Where men are concerned, I'm always in the dark. I must stop thinking with my skin. I will not be a mandolin that someone strums and puts away until he gets the urge to play. I resolve here and now I will be a different girl. Somehow.
Vladislav! George! Can I talk to you for a moment? Will you come with me to the Cafe Imperial? It's urgent.
Cafe Imperial?
Well, she'll be sitting there. Alone? And in the table in front of her will be a copy of Anna Karenina. With a rose in it.
Your lady friend, the one who writes you letters?
Whoa! Oh! Now I have a rose here.
Oh, that's a very romantic picture, George. Very romantic. Except one thing.
One thing?
What am I doing there?
You're going to give her this letter, which explains that I'm called out of town and will write to her as soon as I can.
She won't be disappointed?
She'll be more disappointed if she sees me the way I am tonight. Please, Vladislav, will you?
Of course.
Although, let's hurry, please. For all I know, she got tired of waiting and left long ago.
Mr. Keller,
Mr. Marichek,
please come in.
do we talk here?
Yes, everyone's gone.
As I told you on the phone, sir, we've completed our investigation.
Yes, who sent me this letter?
I'm afraid we don't know that, sir. Anonymous letters are difficult to track down. But we have checked its contents. As you'll see, we've been following Mrs. Marichek, and there's no doubt she's involved with one of your clerks, just as the letter said.
There's no doubt.
And I'm sorry, sir.
Well, I knew all along, I just had to be sure.
She's been going to his apartment, number 17 Court Street. Each visit is listed. Would you care to have us do an investigation of Mr. Kodai?
Who?
Well, that's his name. It's Stephen Kodai.
But I thought,
Stephen Kodai, number 17 Court Street, second floor, apartment 6.
oh God. It's just that he barely knows Mrs. Marichek, and we have another clerk who works here, a clerk who's been to our house many times. I thought he...
If you'll read the report, sir. Will there be anything else? No, I'm saying good night. Good night, sir.
Marichek here. Oh, hello, love. Yes, I know. You'll be home late then? I'll give her my best. No, I'm just a little tired is all. I know. No, I won't wait up then. So do I. Good night.
Mr. Marichek? Don't, Mr. Marichek!
Butterfingers, do that again. That's the end of your career. Good evening, sir. Madam. Don't you know we try to preserve a romantic atmosphere? Good to see you again, Mr. List. That's what all our patrons expect. So every jarring note will be ruthlessly checked. Gently does it try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. Of all the affairs resist, what more noble calling is there than ours? Tending each new beautiful bud of love, making sure each delicate seedling flowers. Treat each tryst and rendezvous as your own, bearing in mind the gravity of your task. All these lovers want is one shining hour. Is that such a terrible lot to ask? Look around and see for yourself the romantic atmosphere. Victor?
Stephanie.
That's what all our patrons demand. That's the reason why they're here.
Victor? Hugo?
Just and if you don't believe me, try tasting our food. That's why we have got to preserve a romantic atmosphere.
Where is it? Here, that's a rose? It's been in my pocket the whole day. Let me have it. Roll the rest of the way. Just give her the letter, please. And I really owe you. Wait. Let's at least see what she looks like. Look. Nice. Whoa!
She's old and ugly, toothless, isn't she?
I wouldn't say that.
There has to be something wrong with her, terribly wrong.
Why?
Because I can see it on your face.
Well, the fact is she's a very attractive girl.
She really is.
Absolutely.
But will I find her attractive?
Well, that's a matter of personal taste, I suppose. Let's see. Who does she look like?
Some film star?
No. You know, more than anybody, she looks a lot like someone in the shop.
In our shop?
You know, as a matter of fact, she looks a lot like Amalia Bolish.
Miss Bolish. Hey, Molly Bolish? I thought you said attractive.
Well, I think so. But I mean, if you don't like Miss Bolish, you're certainly not gonna like this girl.
That similar?
See for yourself. Well, you're just gonna leave her there?
What do you expect? You want me to tell her I'm the poor fool who's been writing all those letters? She'll make me the laughingstock of the whole city.
How? She wrote some too, remember? Dear friend, I took you out of the box, I cut you open, and so on.
It's impossible. What? She couldn't have wrote this letter. She can't have.
Oh, so you think this is all just a coincidence? You think she just happens to like this cafe?
It's a nice
Just
cafe.
happens to be reading Anna Karenina?
Great.
Just happens to be using a rose as a bookmark? In December?
It's Miss Polish. I can't be in love with Miss Polish.
How do you know until you try?
I know her. There's some mistake labs left. There has to be.
Look, talk to her. Find out.
She's not, dear friend. She's not. She can't be. Can't she? Miss Bosch! I'm celebrating. How about yourself?
I'm waiting for someone.
Oh? Anyone in particular?
Well, of course. What kind of girl do you think I am? Never mind, Mr. Novak. I know.
You mind if I sit down with you for a moment?
Oh, no, I'm afraid not.
Oh, you won't let me celebrate?
Celebrate?
My freedom, Miss Bolish. Just think. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and I can sleep as late as I like.
Mr. Novak, I told you that chair happens to be reserved.
You will have one quick drink with me?
I can't.
Just one small farewell drink.
Well, it's very small and very quick.
Thank you, Miss Bolish. Here's to Marichek's Parfumery. And to all the people who work there. And to all the people who used to work there. And to all those customers.
That covers everything.
Good wine.
Are you spying on me?
Spying?
Did you come here this evening to see if I really had a date, that I wasn't just inventing mean an excuse not to work tonight?
Miss Ballish, who would I be spying for? Marichek?
Mr. Novak, if you do not leave this table immediately, I'm going to have to call the waiter.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, there you are.
Pardon me. May I put a word in? The Cafe Imperial is a rendezvous for lovers. We try to preserve a romantic atmosphere, and I find it very difficult, madam, when you and your husband insist on fighting in the middle of it. Can't you argue at home?
This is not my husband. This is a business associate.
Well. Can't you talk business someplace else, please?
So, this person you're meeting, you've known them very long?
Mr. Novak, will you leave?
No, it's not right for a man to keep a girl waiting, alone, in such a public place.
Will you please leave?
Even if he's an old friend, dear friend.
I don't wish to discuss it with you, Mr. Novak.
What's the name of this tune? My mother used to hum it to me when I was a child.
So did mine.
Miss Ballish. Do you realize we just found something in common? At one point, we were both babies.
Did I grow up?
I think it's called the Tango Tragique.
What if he's already been here and seen us together and gone? I'll never forgive you.
Oh, what's this?
Put that back.
Oh, Anna Karenina.
Yes, it's a book. By Leo Tolstoy, a Russian. Now would you please put it back?
Oh, what's this
Oh, that's
for?
none of your business.
Miss Ballish. Is it possible you never even met this man?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, of course it is. But on the other hand, sometimes girls and men do make appointments, and sometimes they go quite well. And on the other hand, sometimes they go not so well. I knew a girl once. She used to write to someone in a Lonely Hearts Club. They corresponded for a while, then they decided to meet. As I recall, she had a flower in her book, and he was to have the same flower in his lapel. And they did recognize each other, I suppose. The next day, the police found her left leg floating in the Danube. And they never did find the rest of her. Or her book.
At the count of 5, I'll scream. So you'd better go and soon. What?
I'm just trying to talk to you.
Don't forget, I've had some wine and nothing to eat since noon, too.
Miss Ballish, are you intoxicated?
Dante once described all the depths of hell. If I have my way, you will know them well. 3.
Miss Ballish!
You are easily the most insensitive man alive.
I can't believe it.
I'm sorry, but I'm fighting for my life. 4.5. Will you go? Then 5.
Are you trying to ruin me, lady? I want you. Get out. That's all. Get out.
Now, wait one moment.
You two, get out. Screaming like lunatics. That's all. Get out.
How dare you speak to a lady this way?
Ladies don't scream in cafes.
I'm afraid you don't understand. There was a fly in her wine.
What?
I said a fly in her wine!
Where is it? Show it to me
Oh,
now.
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, she swallowed it.
She swallowed it.
Wouldn't you scream?
Good God.
A waiter. Really, Mr. Novak, no matter how much you despise me or how unhappy you are, haven't you had enough revenge? I just don't understand you.
How could you, Miss Ballish? You've never once listened to me, never even looked at me.
How wrong you are, Mr. Novak. Well, I'm looking at you right now, and shall I tell you what I see? A smug, pompous, petty tyrant who's very ambitious and very sure of himself, but I see him 10 years from now selling shampoo. And 20 years from now, selling shampoo. And 30 years from now, still selling shampoo. Because basically, do you know what he is? Just a not very bright, not very handsome, not very young man with balding hair and the personality of a python. Mr. Novak, I didn't mean all those things. Mr. Novak!
Don't call him, he'll come back. It's about closing time.
Oh, closing? But I'm waiting for someone. He'll have a rose in his lapel.
To match the one in your book? How late is he?
Over 2 hours.
You're a very patient young lady.
I've waited for him all my life. That's 2 hours.
Here. This one's on the house. For luck.
Thank you. You know, this is a very nice cafe.
Thank you. We try to preserve a romantic atmosphere.
The flowers, the linens, the crystal I see were carefully chosen for people like me. The silver gleam and the candles aglow, your favorite songs on request. Each colorful touch in the finest of taste, and notice how subtly the tables are spaced. Music is muted, lighting is low. No wonder they feel so depressed. Charming, romantic, the perfect cafe. Then, as if it isn't bad enough, a violin starts to play. Candles and wine, tables for two. But where are you, dear friend? Couples go past me, I see how they look. So discreetly sympathetic when they see the rose and the book. I make believe nothing is wrong. How long can I pretend? Please make it right. Don't break my heart. Don't let it end, dear friend.
We're closing now.
So soon?
See, your friend didn't make it.
I'm sure there's some very good reason.
Well, then he'll write to you and you'll patch it up and he'll be very happy.
Can you tell me something? Does it ever happen where the girl is here and the young man arrives and sees her secretly, but then decides to leave without writing or explaining? Does that ever happen?
Sometimes, and sometimes she sees him and she goes away.
How heartbreaking that must be.
Well, you don't have much to worry about. You're a very presentable girl. Not a beauty contest winner, but you should see some of the others.
I make believe nothing is wrong. How long can I pretend? Please make it right. Don't break my heart. Don't
Well, I did everything he told me to.
You've been to the shop.
Here's the key.
Thank you. What did you tell them about last night?
That you shot yourself accidentally. You were cleaning your gun.
Good.
And then I delivered your message to Mr. Novak. Oh, that is, I left it with his landlady. He was out.
Good, very good.
Oh, and there's something else. Miss Ballish is sick. Her mother called. She won't be in today. And that's everything.
Arpad, you are a credit to your profession.
Thank you, Mr. Marichek. You know, I'm not afraid of responsibility. I welcome it. In fact, I'd welcome a lot more.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
But I can't help thinking, Christmas is almost here. All that Christmas shopping, we're going to be very short-handed in the shop.
We'll have to make do.
But one more clerk would certainly come in handy.
What is it, Arpad? Do you know someone who's looking for a job?
Mr. Marichek, you've got to stop thinking of me as just a delivery boy. In a suit, with a tie, I look old. And I've been training myself to be a clerk. Training hard for 2 years.
You've been training?
I have trained myself, going shelf by shelf, and I know every item in the store. Every tube, jar, box, bottle, carton, and container. Where they are, what they cost, what they're for. Although it's something you have never thought about, Mr. Marichek, try me. You need a man who knows the business inside out, Mr. Marichek, try me. You need help or I have never spoken. And why bring someone in when I'm already broken? In this emergency, I wouldn't let you down, Mr. Marichek. Try me. Oh, I can see by the uncertain way you frown that you've asked yourself, why me? For first-class clerking and conscientious working, Mr. Marichek, why not try me?
All right. This cream is sour, very sour. Take it back.
Certainly. You wish to return this jar? Madam, certainly right you are. Madam, you say it smells like a drowned cat. Ooh, it does at that. At Marichek's, madam, we claim with pride. The customer must be satisfied. The customer must be satisfied. By the way, we have a special sale on autumn heather. Let me spray some on your hands. Here, we'll smell it together. It has the 3 elements of a good perfume: attractive to the nose, invisible to the eye, and functional. My wife has used it time and again. It's very appealing to us men. I use it myself every now and then. I'll take it. Certainly, madam. Oh, Miss Ritter. Miss Ritter, that's 20 and 6 for the autumn heather, 8 and 3 for the cream, 32 even for that bottle of mermaid stream, 1 and 3 for the eyebrow pencil, 9 for the large shampoo, and then for the jar you're bringing back, that's 4 and 2 for you. That's a total of 98, less 4 and 2 for the jar, out of 100. Cha-ching! Here's your change, 5 and 2. There you are. The biggest sale in several years, I believe. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Glad I could help. Here is my card. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again. Madam. I'm glad to throw a mustache if you like, Mr. Marichek. Try me. Oh, I would even think of giving up my bike, Mr. Marichek. Try me for first-class clerking and conscientious working, Mr. Marichek. Why not try me?
Very impressive. You even managed to shortchange me.
Mr. Marichek.
Oh, George.
What happened?
He shot himself accidentally. He's cleaning his gun.
Could you excuse us for a second, please, Arpad? Thank you.
Is there anything I can... Are you feeling much pain, sir?
Well, actually, the only place on me that doesn't hurt is my shoulder where I shot myself.
Is there anything that I could do?
First, there's something I must do, something very important. If they would let me out of this chair, you know what I would do. I would walk over to you and take you by the hand and ask you to forgive me.
Forgive you, sir. I forgive you. Whatever happened, why ever it happened, it doesn't matter now.
No, you can't let me off that easily. What I did to you was terrible, and I have no excuse. Well, except for the excuse of a jealous old man.
Jealous?
Poor George, still in the dark. You've been the only man who's ever had an affair without even knowing it.
An affair?
You've been having an affair with my wife.
An affair with Mrs. Marichek?
Oh, I have all the facts.
Oh, they're not true!
I know they're not true. I know it now, but a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I didn't know it.
Mrs. Marichek, did you really think that
That's the problem was I didn't think.
I still can't get over it.
Well, try. Starting today, George, if you're willing, I'd like to have you take over the shop.
Of course I'll take over. Hey, at least keep the doors open until you're back on your feet.
The key's right on the table. And George, now that you're the boss, if you'd like to give yourself a raise.
Well, I'll have a little talk with myself. If I don't ask for too much, I just might consider it.
A perfect executive. Now you better get going. You'll be short-handed today. Arpad tells me Miss Polish isn't coming in.
Miss Polish, why?
She's sick.
She's sick, what happened?
Arpad didn't say, but you'll have to manage without her and without another clerk as well. I want you to fire Mr. Kodai.
Mr. Kodai?
Just give him 2 weeks' salary.
I didn't realize Mr. Kodai's work was so unsatisfactory. He works hard.
Yeah, the wrong things.
I still don't understand.
Well, maybe if you run into Mrs. Marichek someday, she'll explain it to you. Meanwhile, I guess I'm a bachelor again, George, same as you. Maybe some night you'll take me to a cabaret. I know, you don't go to cabaret.
Well, sir, I'll come back later and give you a full report.
I'll be here, my boy, I'll be here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have you been thinking about me as a clerk?
Quite seriously, but one thing that puzzles me, you're so attached to your bicycle. How will you ever part with it?
Well, what if I didn't part with it? Entirely. I could be half delivery boy, half sales clerk.
Arpad, my boy, you've just made a sale.
I did?
Starting today. But I don't suppose we can call you Arpad anymore. I don't even know your last name. Do you have a last name?
Laszlo.
Laszlo. Welcome to Marichek's Mr. Laszlo.
Mr. Laszlo? Mr. Laszlo?
Now you better get going.
You can count on me, sir. I'm on my way. Goodbye, Mr. Marichek.
Goodbye, Arpad. Circling the floor till dawn lit on the sky.
Who's there?
Miss Polish?
Who is it?
Miss Polish?
Just a minute. Come in. Mr. Novak.
Oh, it's just in the neighborhood.
What do you want? Have you thought of something you forgot to say last night? Well, say it and get it over with. I'm not feeling very well today.
I know you're not. That's why I'm here.
You knew I was sick? How?
Well, this may come as a surprise to you, Miss Polish, but I'm back at Marichek's
Back at Marichek's.
as of this morning.
And you've come to see if I'm really sick, is that it? So you can tell everyone there's not a thing wrong with me? That I just don't care about my job? Well, Mr. Novak, you're not going to have that chance. What time is it? Oh, I won't be very late. Where's my other shoe? Help me find my other shoe. Don't just stand there like that. Where's my shoe? Help me find my shoe. I can't live until I do. Will you give me my hat? Where's my shoe? I hate to disappoint you. Now that you've got your hopes up, thrilled to be doing something mean. Just to make it cold out. Come help me pick a sweater. I can decide on white or green.
Now this Polish will sit and you want to lie
Where'd
down.
you put my shoe? That's a sneaky thing to do. You don't want me to go to you. I can see right through you. Where's my shoe?
Be on your feet.
Where's my shoe?
Girl, go back to
Right. If I were a shoe, where would I have gotten to? Well, if I were a shoe, I'd be there. Yes, you told me it was good. Tell me what kind of dress should I wear?
I
I could wear a sweater. That would fit my mood now. I'm really wearing something gay.
Polish, you're
I'm
hysterical.
feeling so much better. I feel so gay and giddy. Would you indulge me on my way?
Bed, which is where you belong.
See, there is nothing wrong with me. I am going. You can't stop me. Stop it! Now please drop me. Put me down.
Leaving this thing. I brought you something.
What is it?
Vanilla ice cream. Oh. It's the best thing in the world when you're sick.
It's from Linder's. My mother works at Linder's. She may have waited on you.
A small stout woman?
Oh, no. The image of me, everyone says, except much younger looking. Something's wrong with this ice cream.
There is.
So much salt.
Are you surprised all those tears falling into it?
I'd better cry the other direction.
Why cry at all, Miss Polish?
How little you understand, Mr. Novak. I'm like a rag doll and somebody's kicked out all the stuffing.
You'll soon fill up again, good as new.
You're looking at a very disillusioned girl, Mr. Novak.
You know, Miss Polish, I feel terrible about the way I acted last night. I must have been drunk.
But, strangely enough, Mr. Novak, you were right. When you guessed I'd never met the man I was waiting for, he's just someone who's been writing me letters. Such glorious letters. Oh.
He never showed up, huh?
I waited till closing.
I feel very responsible.
Oh, no, Mr. Novak, it wasn't just you. Well, there could have been so many other reasons. But if he cared at all, he would have explained, he would have written a letter. No, 2 words, something.
Miss Polish, he will write.
I don't think so.
Oh, he will! I'm not just saying that. I know that definitely.
How?
Well, because he told me himself.
He himself.
Yes, of course. Dear friend, no one else.
Dear friend? Well, when? How? Tell me, Mr. Novak, tell me.
Well, I was leaving the Cafe Imperial last night when I had the strangest feeling that someone was following me. So I looked around and there was
A young man.
well, a man. And he started asking questions about you and me.
Well, what sort of questions?
Oh, just the sort you'd expect.
Oh, but I want to know the words that he said.
I'm never good at remembering exact words.
Well, try! Please.
Well, I think the first thing he said was, excuse me. Something like that. Tell me, did you just leave the Cafe Imperial? And you want to know what I said?
Well, of course.
All right. I said, yes.
And then?
He said, hey, tell me, that girl you were sitting with, is she a special friend of yours? Those were his exact words, special friend. But I said, no, she's just a girl that I work with. In fact, she's meeting someone later tonight for an appointment. I'm remembering quite well now. And then he started to look quite sad.
He looked sad.
Quite sad. He said, I know she has an appointment. It's with me. But I have to take the next train on urgent business.
Urgent business? Is he a manufacturer, do you think, or a shop owner?
Well, simple to say, really. I mean, he certainly looked well fed.
Well fed?
To judge by appearances. Of course, that's not so unusual for a man his age. My, Miss Boss, you have a great selection of books. The red and the black. You know, I've been so anxious to get my hand on one of these. You mind if I borrow it from you sometime?
What do you mean, a man his age?
I beg your pardon.
You said, it's not so unusual in a man his age. How old is he?
Well, it was a dark night last night. And he did have an exhausting day, emotionally, at least. I'd say his age to be about 50, 60, 70. Huh. Hard to tell, truly. Perhaps if he had more hair. Have you ever read The Magic Mountain?
What?
The Magic Mountain. I bought it for myself on my birthday once. If you'd like, I could let you borrow it sometime.
Is he completely bald?
Doesn't matter. I thought you said you loved him.
I do love him, Mr. Novak. I do. It's just, well, you know, I thought, I'd hoped. I'm so ashamed of myself, as if appearances made a difference. The important thing is the letters. Just think of all the immortal works of art, the rapturous love stories that were written by elderly men, old men, fat men, with indigestion and terrible tempers, but deep inside there was a magic. And that is a glory beyond estimation.
You put it quite well, Miss Polish.
I feel quite well. I feel marvelous. Oh, thank you, Mr. Novak. Thank you for coming here today, and thank you for my life. Oh, you know, I'm going to write to him this very moment, so he'll have a letter waiting. Oh, but I won't mention you, since that might be embarrassing.
I appreciate that. Well, I guess I'll just head back to the shop.
Oh, and I'll follow as soon as I've written the letter.
Oh, no, there's no need for that. Take the rest of the day off. Relax. Read a book. Have you finished Anna Karenina yet?
Oh, yes, a long time ago.
So have I. But it's amazing how it stays with you, isn't it? Every platform, every station platform with the train puffing through it, it's Anna's platform. And I can almost see her. Actually see her step out of the crowd towards her death. I've even tried to stop her a few times myself, but she always seems to vanish out of the smoke and steam.
How odd, Mr. Novak. How very odd. You know, in one of his letters, I wish I could show it to you.
You mean, do your friends have the same experience?
More than once.
Oh, well. Bye, Miss Polish.
Goodbye. Mr. Novak, may I tell you something quite sincerely? I like you, Mr. Novak. Really, I like you.
Thank you, Miss Walsh. See you in the morning, then.
In the morning. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together you and I will laugh at last night someday. Ice cream. He bought me ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Imagine that, ice cream. And for the first time, we were together without a split. Friendly, he was so friendly. That isn't like him. I'm simply stunned. Wonders never cease. Wonders never cease. It's been a most peculiar day. Wonders never cease. Wonders never cease. Oh, where was I? I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together you and I laughed. I sat there waiting in that cafe and never guessing that you were fat. But you were near. You were outside looking bold. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night, I was so nasty. Well, he deserved it, but even so, that George is not like this George. This is a new George that I don't know. Somehow, it all reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Who right before my eyes, a man that I despise has turned into a man I like. It's almost like a dream. It's strange as it may seem. He came to offer me ice
loves me, and to my amazement, I love it, knowing that she loves me. She loves me, true she doesn't show it. How could she, when she doesn't know it? Yesterday she loathed me, now today she likes me, and tomorrow, hey. touch her. I'm speechless, for I mustn't tell her. It's wrong now, but it won't be long now before my love discovers that she and I are lovers. Imagine how surprised she's bound to be. She loves me. She loves me. I love her. Isn't that a wonder? I wonder why didn't want her. I want her. Best thing that matters. And matters are improving daily. Yesterday I loathed her. Now today I love her. And tomorrow. Such delicious tingles. I'm trembling. Oh, it's laughing. I'm freezing. That's because it's cold out. Still, I'm incandescent and like some adolescent. I want to scroll on every wall I see. She loves me. She loves me.
You know, the new Mr. Marichek, not so impressive. Too short, too skinny.
I think he's beautiful. Welcome back, George.
Congratulations, George.
Well, I suppose.
Excuse me, there's a little help in there. We do have customers, you know.
You know, that reminds me, I need to have a word with Mr. Godot.
Isn't it wonderful?
A miracle, an absolute miracle. A word with Mr. Kodai.
Oh, who cares about him? That's all in the past.
Is it?
Ever since last night. Do you remember what a silly, confused little girl I was last night?
Were you?
Oh, very. I didn't know what to do or where to go, and somehow my feet started walking down the street, past the Metropole Cinema, and do you know where?
No, where?
Right into the library.
The library?
Can you imagine?
No. How'd you like it?
You've never seen such a place.
Well.
So many books. So much marble, and so quiet.
Well, that's typical.
And suddenly all of my confidence dribbled away with a pitiful plop. My head was beginning to spin and my forehead was covered with cold perspiration. I started to reach for a book, but my hand automatically came to a stop. I don't know how long I stood frozen, a victim of panic and mortification. Oh, how I wanted to flee. When a kindly voice, a gentle voice whispered, "Pardon me."
Pardon me?
And there was this dear, sweet, clearly respectable, thickly bespectacled man who stood by my side and quietly said to me, "Ma'am, don't mean to intrude, but I was just
of all flesh. Of course it's a novel, but I didn't know, or I certainly wouldn't have smacked him. Well, he gave me a smile that I couldn't resist, and I knew at once how much I liked this optometrist. Optometrist. You know what this dear, sweet, slightly bespectacled gentleman said to me next? He said he could solve this problem of mine. I said, how? He said if I like, he'd willingly read to me some of his favorite things. I said when. He said now. His novel approach seemed highly suspicious and possibly dangerous too. I told myself, wait, think, dare you go up to his flat? What happens if things go wrong? It's obvious he's quite strong. He read to me all night long. Now how about that? And happily hopeful I feel, I picture my Paul there, reading aloud as I cook. As long as he's there to read, there's quite a good chance indeed, a chance that I'll never need to open a book. Someone I dimly recall. I know he'll only have eyes for me, my optometrist doll.
Well, I might as well tell you that Mr. Kodai will be leaving us as of now. Mr. Marichek's orders.
Why? I mean, it's nice, but what happened?
I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Well, I bet I know. I warned him they'd catch up with him. But did you know that half the perfume and toilet water in this shop ended up in his bathroom? Or so he told me.
Well, incidentally, now that you're back and everything's straightened out, I might as well tell you that I was the one who wrote the anonymous letter to Mr. Marichek.
Ladislav.
Yeah.
What anonymous letter?
Oh, you didn't know? What do you think caused all this trouble? I wrote an anonymous letter to Mr. Marichek about his wife and one of the clerks.
I can't believe this.
Well, I was desperate. Look, business was bad, and I started to think that if Mr. Marichek fired Kodai, who deserved it, then he might not fire me, who didn't deserve it.
Do you know how much trouble you've caused?
Look, I'll regret it till the day that I die. I had no idea he would have thought I meant you.
Well, Ladislav, I just hope you've learned your lesson.
Oh, I have. Believe me, I have, George. Next anonymous letter, I'll name the names. Thanks, George.
Can I please have 2 weeks' pay for Mr. Kodai?
No, my pleasure.
Good day, madam. May I help you? Yes. Do you carry flowers of spring?
Mr. Seacos, guess what? What? I'm a clerk. Congratulations, Arpad.
Mr. Marichek promoted me. Oh, and there's something else. I'm not Arpad anymore.
Well, then who are you?
Mr. Laszlo.
Oh, why Laszlo? Why? It's my last name.
Madam, please call again to call again.
our newest clerk, Mr. Laszlo.
It's true, ask Mr. Marichek.
Aren't that how wonderful?
What's wonderful? I'm a clerk. Starting now, a clerk. You believe it. Stephen Kodai replaced by the delivery boy.
Replaced?
Yes, sir, Pat. I quit. I'm leaving. I've just resigned. I wouldn't stay here another day.
Well, you couldn't. You've just been fired.
Believe that will make you happy, but you won't be happy for very long. You see, very soon those doors will close for the last time. Then just take yourselves a short walk right down to Hammersmith's.
Why? It's closed.
Only temporarily, for renovations. You see, they're about to have a new owner, Stephen Kodai.
Some owner.
Nevertheless, it's true. Hello believes me, don't you, darling?
Of course I do. Here's your down payment.
Sherry, it's been grand knowing you, grand knowing you, grand being your friend. You've been kind, loyal, and so generous, right down to the end. Please don't grieve watching me leave. That would be much too painful to stand. It's been fun, now I must run, but it's been grand, perfectly grand. Lona, farewell, Sherry, be brave. Chin up, it's been sublime. You mustn't waste a precious moment over me. You don't have time. Just remember when you're lonely, you're blue. There's a hole in my pillow for you. Sivos, what can I say? Sivos! No tears, be gay, you know. Friend, I'm in your debt. I owe you more than I can possibly repay. I won't forget. Give your wife a little kiss from Kodai. I never met her, but I will by and by. Though I hate leaving you, hate leaving your warm, intimate love. It's a small pleasure, but I'll treasure each warm, intimate snub. It's been grand, let me say, and let me say au revoir, not goodbye. And it's grand knowing you'll all be working for your friend.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Good morning, Mr. Novak.
Good morning, Miss Polish. How are you feeling today?
Ready for thousands of customers.
Only 12 more days to go.
12 days to Christmas, 12 days to Christmas. Plenty of time to do your Christmas shopping. These are the people who shop in time, plenty of time. These are the people with time to spare who shop at their convenience. 12 days to Christmas, 12 days to Christmas. Look at the way they do their Christmas shopping. Things go shopping and still remain calm and sedate. These are the people we envy and the people that we hate. Thank you, please call again, do call again. Thank you.
What a day, Mr. Novak?
It certainly was, Miss Polish.
Oh, thank you for the book. It was excellent.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Will you be taking the bus home after work?
Yes, I will.
Do you mind if I walk you to the bus stop?
I'd like that, Mr. Novak.
12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 horns a leaping, 9 days to Christmas, 9 days to Christmas. It's not time to do your Christmas shopping.
Mr. Novak.
So would I.
Eggs, pigs, and milking, 7 swans are swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings. 4 days Christmas, 4 days Christmas, just a time to do Christmas shopping. Shopping time, just a time, really time. People dancing, playing home precision. 4 days Christmas, 4 days Christmas, these the folks who never waste a second. Full of shooting, mission, say hello, ribbon go. Never too early and never late, and they're the worst of all. Thank you, please call again, thank you.
What a day!
I'll just wait till the 24th.
The 24th! Christmas, one day Christmas, not a happy Christmas shopping. We're gonna shop time. We're gonna shoot lots of time. We're the people who shop the time, not a time. We're the people who always wait until it's much too late. Oh, one day Christmas, all we ever do are Christmas shopping. When the everybody's along, who'll get a call? Some of the family may not get a Christmas gift at all. Thank you, please call again until I call again, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Here it is!
Ah, not bad.
Not bad. That's at least 18 inches longer than last year.
It's only every night for Christmas Eve. I don't think I can stand it. I haven't stopped for 1 minute.
I waited on 53 customers personally.
Too bad Mr. Marichek couldn't be here.
Well, I'll take this to him and deliver to him personally. Well, it's coming. She's going to invite me over for Christmas Eve. Splendid! Why, splendid. I can't go. Tonight she's going to meet dear friend.
But your dear friend,
That's exactly the point.
I give up. I can't do this anymore. This is all too confusing for me. Look, you want to straighten this mess out? Shoot yourself.
My friend's coming. Will you let me know when he gets here?
All right. Oh, Mr. Novak, Mother and I would love if you would spend Christmas Eve with us.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea, Miss Bahal.
Well, it's going to be a very special Christmas Eve. Do you know who's going to be there? Dear friend.
Who's that again?
Dear friend, the man I've been corresponding with, remember?
Oh, well, I don't want to intrude on anything.
In truth, no. You'd be helping him. After all, you know him. Well, you met him. And you're so alike, really. You can help me when conversation gets too deep for me. Please, Mr. Novak.
Well, I just hope this isn't some big mistake.
I know it's not.
Look who's here! It's Mr. Marichek!
Where else would I be on Christmas Eve?
Merry Christmas, sir!
Whoa, you did all of that in one day?
Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas, Miss Molly.
I thought I heard your voice. Merry Christmas, Mr. Marichek.
Christmas, Miss Ritter. Have you time for a drink?
Champagne. I'll make time.
Mr. Marichek, what a surprise!
Mr. Seapost, Merry Christmas. Could you find us 6 glasses for champagne?
Of course.
Thank you.
I'll open it. I love opening champagne.
How are you feeling, sir?
Fine, excellent. It's great to be home.
The goblets!
The champagne.
Well, Mr. Marichek, the toast?
To Christmas Eve, to the shop, and to all of us together.
Merry Christmas. May I?
Please. So, George, what would you say to a gala dinner out? We'll go to some nice restaurant like Baber's?
I would love to, Mr. Marichek. It's just, I've already made plans.
You weren't expecting me. That's okay.
Hey, it's just that Miss Balish has invited me over for Christmas Eve, and I thought,
Oh, well, don't give it another thought, my boy. It's not that important.
Well, it looks like. Oh, I think it's. It is.
Oh, He's here! Miss Ritter's friend!
Isn't he handsome?
Oh, intelligent looking!
Oh, he's got beautiful eyes.
He's an optometrist.
Much better than Mr. Kodai, I'll say that.
Oh, I love the way he walks.
Look at that coat and that hat!
He has dimples.
Well, that settles it. Tonight, when he asks me to marry him, I'm going to say yes.
Tonight? Alona, I had no idea.
Well, neither does he. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Good evening.
Ah, youth. Well, Mr. Marichek, thank you so much for the champagne, but I better be getting back home to my wife and my kids, and my wife's sister and her kids, and my mother-in-law, and God knows who else. Merry Christmas.
So, Orphan,
Yes, sir.
are you busy tonight?
No, sir.
Well, now you are. We're going to Favors.
Favors? What is that?
George, Orphan and I are going out for a night on the town.
Merry Christmas, Mr.
Merry
Marichek.
Christmas, Miss Polish.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Laszlo.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Novak. I'm going to Favors.
So, Orphan, is there anything special you'd like for Christmas?
Oh, it's too much to hope for.
What is it?
Well, I won't get it anyway.
Well, you could tell me.
Well, what I'd really like more than anything is a motorcycle.
A motorcycle! You're right, my boy, you won't get it.
Let me help you with that. Cigarette box?
Well, I know you hate them, but I rather like them, and I thought it's a gift for dear friend.
But what if he's not a smoker?
Well, he likes music.
And it's just a box. You know, Miss Bosch, I don't eat these nearly as much as I used to. In fact, I wouldn't mind owning one myself one day.
You wouldn't.
Just to remind me of the first day you came here. You remember that? I'll never forget. What kind of box, ma'am? Why, it's a candy box, and it's functional.
I was so terrified, and you were so awful. Did I really sound like that?
No, you sounded irresistible. And I remember thinking, this is the type of girl I could spend the rest of my life with.
But you were so awful,
I know.
and you never said anything.
Well, how could I? I knew what you felt about me.
But you didn't. Really, you didn't, because I was attracted to you. More than attracted.
Awful as I was.
What a shame you never spoke up.
And you.
Well, who knows what might have been.
I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together, you and I, laugh at last night, someday.
Dear friend, it's really true then. It's what I hoped for, that it was you.
Dear friend, I had to tell you, I was so tempted, I didn't dare.
You dared, I was so anxious,
I was so tempted, I didn't dare. I wanted you to know, I thought you might have guessed, I couldn't wait another day.
Oh, okay.